Hello guys, it's been a while, but I'm back. Laid my hands on Village Mountain update. I've seen plenty of videos regarding the content of the pack, and to be honest, I don't think it will be much of use in this gameplay. I don't think I've seen any drastic changes when it comes to traffic, etc. And mods. Of course, mods. Most of the classic ones were updated. If you don't want to browse through every mod, subscribe. There is a cool spreadsheet I found a while ago on Reddit, which sort of discuss what was updated, what is no longer supported. I personally really like it because it has helpful suggestions which don't always make it to the Steam mod pages, especially if the mods were abandoned. I used to get occasional error pop-ups, which I usually ignore because I have plenty of assets and stuff, and Skive don't always work as I wish, and I'm too lazy to organize everything, so I basically got a mod to hide error messages. And if you want to use it, please be careful. Be careful, do it on your own risk. It's no longer supported, but it was like a lifesaver. Never messed up my saves, even the older ones, but again, can't promise anything. So let's get to another building episode. I've been away and visited beautiful northern Norway, and then I came back feeling weird about building hot climate city, but I also got sick. There was also a Medieval Dynasty big update that came out, and today I saw a new Witcher 4 trailer, which I'm excited about, and we also got City Skylines 2 to test for free. And also today I saw a new Witcher 4 trailer, and we also got City Skylines 2 to test for free for a weekend, so a lot been going on, I know. But anyways, I did some work every now and then, and so every now and then I find myself not being satisfied with the greenery around the city, so I use Bob mod to change it. I decided to change the lush green trees to something more hot climate / desert suitable. I tried few different types. In the end I settled for regular tree medium crown, and I hope this is the change that will stay. Right away I started to work on this street, which is supposed to be an elongation of main commercial street in the village. So while citizens come back home, they can pick up groceries on their way. Of course, I needed to play around with the terrain a bit, which is a never-ending story. I really quick took a look at Traffic Manager and cleaned the area from all the random bushes that might appear next to the road. I also used the Find It to look for commercial shops that would be suitable here. You can also see Malta Assets buildings I used previously, which I think are really versatile. I think you can even convert to houses. As always, I try to limit the numbers of different buildings and models I use so I won't kill my PC. So I went back to Main Street to copy some of the previously placed commercial buildings. This is not only efficient way and to save your DTU, but also makes the city more cohesive looking, I would say. Of course, I don't copy it one to one, I move it around later. And of course, whenever I copy a few buildings, I'm aware that it will need work around it for a bit, so trust the process. This is sort of like a base, and then I'm moving everything around. And yeah, I won't go overboard with decor. I don't go overboard bored with the decor. This is intended to be moderately decored city, so I'm just going to use like few basic pavement decors, curbs, and some greenery, and maybe decors for like cobblestone, like you see here, or ruined road, damaged road, something like this. I'm trying to use greenery that is suitable for the climate, but it's not, 100% biologically accurate, but I think it's fine. And yes, tons of roofed parkings on this map. Of course, everything is hilly and needs adjustment. So after adding this parking spot, it's time to organize the other side of the road. Again, nothing crazy, but I decided to work on little parking area on the corner next to the main road. So I filled the blank spots with the concrete using brush tool and placed few of the roof parking spots for them to, park when they do grocery, right? Makes sense. Time to add some similar decals like before. Also, I added few curbs with mulch and greenery and hedge. It was a bit empty on the other side, so I've decided to add roof parking spots there as well, since this road is a non-parking road, which I'm happy about. It doesn't look that messy. We'll see about it. Maybe I will change it. We'll see. And this map is extremely hilly, so I feel like nothing lays perfectly flat here, which is nice. This is a challenge. I always went for this, massive grid flat cities. You can check out my previous builds. Little bumps every now and then, and as long as it's not that visible with buildings, cars on parking slots might be a little bit wonky. So I also added road crossing using, I think it's not control mode, so they can access the commercial buildings from parking slots. And this is how it looks for now. I will place cinematic shots at the end of the episode, and now it's time to work on high school. And to be honest, after placing it, I've realized that we actually need cemetery more than high school right now. But perhaps that's the idea for the next episode, working on custom cemetery. Nevertheless, I felt like this is the perfect spot for high school, close to the main road, where in the future we will have few buses driving around. It's also close to elementary school we've placed before, so first it's time to work on the terrain. This is the school I went with, and oh my god, I already knew that what the hell it's gonna be to level it up. So enjoy the speed up. I've also added wide parking road. There is a cool AI parking mode that helps you to align all the slots to the road so it looks neat and is way more efficient when placing it. I was thinking about park to put on the side and initially went with this one. I decided to keep the footage because, you know, we all need to try and see. Also, I think it was a good design, just nothing that corresponds to this high school vibe, so I changed it later. I also thought about adding some sort of court, sports center, perhaps football or tennis one, but the terrain here is so uneven that I gave up on the idea, although in the future I would do a bigger high school sports center for sure. After a bit of decor, that was the moment where I decided to change the park. This is actually vanilla one and I really love it because it's small, it blends nicely between building as it isn't so boxy, like you get me. It's more of a dirt, not like a nice pavement and plaza sort of. So in that case I've actually thought of layering it and using bob to delay the trees so it lays nicely, but I don't know what's better. After all, it's cool, so I've decided to fence the whole area. And I know how uneven it is. The city should be called Uneven Heaven or something like this, but I'm doing what I can and to be honest can get a hang on the lineup tool. And here I've decided to do invisible pavement shortcut that I've done before a few times on this map already, and of course a bit of decor around it and around the area in general. And a future bus stop for our lovely citizens to access the school. I took a quick glance at the traffic that is building up in the area, and I think these are the citizens of the newly built area still moving in, so I'm not panicking about it yet. And once I saved and reopened the game after a few days, of course, I was like, damn, I need to fill this blank spot, so I went for commercial, like a small shop. In the end, I've just copied a random building placed before. Of course, terrain needed to be fixed again, but after adding few props and greenery and stuff, it looked fine, I guess. I also did not put any parking spots as there are excess at the back and didn't want cars randomly driving off the main intersection and blocking it, or it would just look off. You know how the cars sometimes spawn at the middle of the road, they don't go out of the shop like nicely, and not sure how to explain that, but you know what I mean. I decided to skip that. And by the way, this is about the time that I've realized I've hit trees limit already. I know what I'm going to do off camera. I will have to delete most of them. There was a crazy amount of the trees since the beginning of the save because of a map. The creator of the map used tons of them. It looks nice, but I was gradually deleting them every now and then, but I need to get myself to actually delete even more. So I did a few traffic manager fixes and off we go to another part of the video. And I love looking at the city being so alive already, everybody driving around, walking around. It's busy, not too busy as it's supposed to be in the village like this, but I think it's actually getting better. So it's time to decor, and I must admit that it's my least favorite thing to do, and it's a bit monotonous, we get to do it. So definitely as a moderately detailed build, I started off with adding few new houses where there were like random blank spots. I'm definitely gonna move them around a bit as we go, as I've previously placed them from very far, hence the plants, greenery needs to be adjusted as well. So for the buildings that didn't have any visible driveways, I added some previously used decals. There's a lot of copying and pasting and of course lots of roofed parking spots to protect the cars from the sun. They also work as a little garages, functional garages, so this is, I think, the nice addition. I think they are vanilla ones, so I was pleasantly surprised to see assets like this. I think they appeared later in the update or something. I really struggle with fencing on this terrain. If you have a mod or tip how to level fences so they actually align to the terrain, please let me know, because for now they kind of levitate in the back. Sometimes I'm hiding it with trees, sometimes I just let it be as it's not as noticeable from afar, and I hope you are not crazy about details like this, because you shouldn't watch my videos then. Of course, not everything I did made it to the video. It's been, I think, few hours of work, and I assume the sped up video with the most important parts makes sense. And also I realized that we lack any parks in the area, so I decided to squeeze in something. It's the same model as I placed near to the high school, and I think I really like the outcome. It looks like, yeah, it looks really nice. And of course I'm adding the shortcut pavement. There's a lot of them in the area, because I think the normal pavement would look a little bit, off. Too artificial, kinda. And most of the houses, to be honest, I decored one by one, but definitely the further I went, the less detail it was, but I still play around with some. This is the shop we've built before. I just added few rained roads decals, which I'm generally adding every now and then, as you see. And I'm not adding a lot of tiny props too, but I found these benches that look super cute and matching the Mediterranean vibe here, so I've added them. And as I've been working, I've also noticed this random empty spot next to the shops we played before, so of course I added more parking. Did some work off camera. I've placed another park. It kinda looks like vegetable stalls, I think, and I think it could be a nice asset thing to do, like a fresh veggies market in the future. Definitely gonna put that on my to-do list. And I spare you the rest of residential buildings and move straight to this little industrial area next to the orchards that we'll work on in a minute. I was a bit lazy at this point, to be honest, and did not have the patience to work on the terrain, but I promise I will do better, okay? I actually think we are getting closer to work on the full-blown cargo area on the other side of the map, and so far this is like a little processing place for all the olives, mostly olives and fruits from the area. And as in the previous episode, I started placing the road that will serve as a ground for olive trees to grow on. And there are a few houses for what I can imagine will be the owners of the orchards. And straight into using lineup tool, I've placed olive trees. And I was thinking whether to make it more neat and delete bushes around, but I feel like leaving the bushes make it less artificial, especially that I did not plan to go crazy with decor, so I'm fine with this more wild look, almost as they were left to grow on their own. And two last things, sheds and fencing that we need to add. Some I used previously, some I found right now. And yeah, what I think I did off camera was to place blank farming spots, so they actually spawn the workers for farming. I don't know if they appear, but it's functional since we don't have any demand for industry, so I think it works. And finally, these are cinematic shots of everything we've worked on in today's video. I feel like there was plenty of pretty tedious work, but I can finally say this side of the lake is completed. I also think in the next episode we'll work on another side of the lake and add some sort of custom cemetery, because I see our citizens already rushing to the other side, and this is the last, and I don't mean the other side of the lake, and this is the last necessary service that we are missing at this point. So thank you so much for sticking with me. Like or comment will be appreciated, and I think check out my other stuff, and I think that's all. Bye!